Hi, so now I'm going to show you the second F of Usborne, and that's our fiction books. I'll start with baby books and work our way up to adult books. So our first baby book is actually our library, little baby's very first little library. And it comes with a set of 4 books that are very durable pages. I'll show you here. Pages are very thick and sturdy. And then you can see the very high contrast pictures that teach babies and eventually your toddler these little words, and they're so cute. They're small, so they fit perfectly in a toddler's hands. They walk around. My little 3-year-old walks around with this little library thing, and he tries to read it to his little brother. It's really cute. He doesn't try, he actually does read it. He knows this is a cat. He knows that is a car. And eventually, he'll start reading those words and know that these 3 letters together means car. So this is a really neat book to have if you've got baby and toddlers. This book is part of one of our best-selling series, That's Not My. And this one is That's Not My Cow. And you can see that it's a touchy-feely book. Its nose is too rough. That's not my cow. Its ears are too soft. Right? So this book really teaches kids the kind of sensory and language awareness so that they can learn what those feelings mean. And it's just cute and lovely for the kids. The next book I have for you is a Kane Miller book. Kane Miller is one of Usborne's publishers, and it's a really neat book about how much you can love someone. I love you hugely like a whale. I love you shyly like a quail. I love you cleverly like a fox. I love you powerfully like an ox. And I love this book because it goes through all those adjectives that we don't always use, but the kids will start needing to know how to know what they mean. And it just helps them learn them a lot sooner. Another thing I wanted to show you were the pages. They're still very durable. They're kind of like a laminated type feel, so they're not easily tearable. So you can have them around your toddler. I wouldn't necessarily give this to your toddler, but they can definitely fit through the pages without harming them too much. Our next book is one of my favorites, if not my favorite Usborne books. This series is called the Illustrated Story Series, and this book is for children. It's got stories, both princes and princesses and dragons, and it just goes through and it's got little illustrations that go with the stories. And the stories themselves are about 13 pages long, take about 10 minutes to read at night, and they're just really engaging stories and beautiful beautiful pictures and a beautiful layout here. And they have several different versions, different types of these books. Our next book, now we're going to get into stories that the kids will read on their own. And this series is our phonics readers series that have small words for the kids who are just learning to read. And I'll show you here, Llamas in Pajamas. Again, the pages are still very thick as far as books go. This one says, Sam, Ellie, and Charlie all yell with delight. There's a creepy sleepover at Frankie's tonight. So the story does rhyme, and it's very small words for the kids who are just learning to read. Our next book series here, we're starting to get into chapter books. And Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown are neighbors, and they are best friends, and they encounter different things that happen to kids at their ages, elementary age, and they work through them in some sort of way. And they're good for teaching kids how to treat other people and how to behave. And you can see here, that the words are spaced out. There are illustrations, and they're spaced out well enough for the kids who are just learning to read, just a little bit longer than a regular storybook. Those are really neat stories, chapter books to have for the early readers. Then you have our chapter books for our older kids, middle school, teenager ages. This story is Choose Your Own Ever After. It's really neat because you get to choose what the character does throughout the story. And I like to also read it over again and maybe choose the other option that you didn't choose before and get a different idea. I will say with this book, I would keep it more for a teenager instead of middle schoolers. It has the content you'll have to be careful with. It does have more teenager type issues that happen. And then this one is okay as far as the content goes. Phoenix Files, really cute book. It's sci-fi type book. If you think of X-Files for kids without the gory stuff. Really neat series. There's 6 books in this series, and I didn't mention it, but there are 3 books in this series. And those are the books, the fiction books I have for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you for watching.